Skyrim is full of characters who demand your attention. Ulfric shouts his rebellion from Windhelm's throne. Maven Blackbriar casts her shadow across Riften. Even the smallest villagers, farmers, miners, hunters, usually serve some identifiable purpose in the vast clockwork of the game. And then there's Narfi, a beggar who lives on the edge of Ivarstead, in the ruins of his family's house, scraping by in dirt and despair. You don't find him unless you're looking, and if you do, the game itself seems unsure what to do with him. He is lonely, broken, and largely ignored, both by the town he lives near and by the narrative of Skyrim itself. Narfi is not just a side character, he's a wound in the world building, an NPC so isolated, so forgotten, that his very presence feels like a mistake, and yet he lingers. His life reduced to ashes, but why? Ivarstead is already a strange town, a waypoint between Whiterun and Riften. It is best known as the final stop before the 7,000 steps up to High Hrothgar. For most players, it's a pass-through, a place to grab supplies, listen to rumours, and then begin the climb to meet the Greybeards. But if you walk just outside of the town, across the bridge, and towards the riverbank, you'll notice something peculiar. A burnt-down house, collapsed, abandoned. Inside the ruins, you'll hear muttering, and then you'll see him, Narfi the beggar. He doesn't greet you like other NPCs, he doesn't stand tall, he doesn't have a job, doesn't contribute. Instead, he shuffles, mumbles, and begs. He's a man who has been hollowed out. He is, in many ways, the physical embodiment of absence. Narfi is not homeless by choice. His family's house burned down, leaving him destitute. His sister, Rada, went missing and never returned, leaving him both orphaned and alone. The trauma shattered him, and when you meet him in the game, he is already too far gone. The villagers of Ivarstead know him, they pity him, in the way one might pity a stray dog, but no one truly ever helps him. He is tolerated but not embraced. The innkeepers will sometimes mention his state. The townsfolk shake their head, but no one offers him food or shelter or companionship. Skyrim is a land filled with tragedy, but Narfi is unique because his tragedy is not tied to prophecy, war, or gods. It is simple, domestic, and all too human. The story of a man who lost everything and in turn was left behind. If you talk to Narfi, he will mumble about his missing sister, Rada. This triggers a small miscellaneous quest, the straw that broke. You're asked to search for Rada. Her fate is bleak. You find a necklace by the river suggesting that she drowned. You return to Narfi with the news and he thanks you in his sort of broken way. That's it. That's the quest. No reward, no consequence, no major branching path. Just the quiet resolution of a man whose world is already over. Compared to the sprawling quest lines of Skyrim, the Civil War, the Dark Brotherhood, the College of Winterhold, Narfi's quest feels almost like a whisper, but perhaps that's the point. It is not about changing the world, it is about changing one's man's understanding of his loss. Still, the question lingers, why does Skyrim include this NPC at all? Most characters in Skyrim have a gameplay function. Shopkeepers sell goods, followers fight by your side, trainers teach skills. Even background NPCs serve to populate towns, flesh out culture, or connect to Radiant quests. But Narfi, he offers nothing. He cannot be married, recruited, or trained. His quest yields no material benefit. He doesn't even move from the ruins of his house. He is frozen in place, a relic of sorrow, existing only to remind players of what cannot be fixed. In this sense, he feels purposeless, and that purposelessness is precisely what makes him so disturbing. He's not just an NPC, he is a monument to futility. If you've joined the Dark Brotherhood, you encounter Narfi again, this time as a target. Astrid assigns you to kill Narfi. No justification, no backstory, no explanation. He is simply just marked for death. This transforms Narfi from a forgotten beggar into one of Skyrim's most unsettling moral dilemmas. Do you kill a broken man already destroyed by life simply because you were told to? When you approach him, he doesn't resist. He doesn't even seem to understand. He just wanders, starts running, muttering obliviously. Striking him down feels crueler than killing any bandit or soldier, but the game doesn't care. The Dark Brotherhood rewards you all the same. His death changes nothing. His absence barely even registers. It is as if the world of Skyrim, like the people of Ivarstead, have already forgotten him. Nafi's existence raises fascinating questions about Skyrim's design. Why include such a character? Why give him no real role, no meaningful quest, or no redemption? The answer may lie in contrast. Skyrim is full of chosen ones, heroes, villains, and gods. By comparison, Nafi is a reminder of the people who slip through the cracks. He embodies the theme of isolation, showing what happens to those who are too small, too powerless to be swept up in prophecy. His placement in Ivarstead is deliberate. Travellers pass through here on their way to High Hrothgar to seek enlightenment, to hear destiny call. Nafi sits just outside of that, close enough to be seen but far enough to be ignored. In a game about fate, Nafi has none. Perhaps the most haunting aspect of Nafi is not his backstory or his role in quests, but simply how alone he feels. When you speak to him, there are no background voices cheering, no bustling market sounds, no friends approaching, just the wind, the ruin of his house, and his muttering. The silence is louder than any dragon's roar. It communicates despair in a way combat never could. Players who stumble upon Nafi often leave unsettled. They remember him not because he was important, but because he was forgotten. Skyrim has its share of outcasts and broken souls. Notbeard in Kynesgrove, the Madman in the Reach, even Cicero the Fool. But all of them have connections, to quests, to factions, to larger themes. Nafi has none. He's not a mad jester tied to prophecy. He's not a bandit hiding from the law. He is not a mage who dabbled too far. He is simply a man destroyed by grief. And in this way, he is more realistic than most NPCs. His suffering isn't epic, it's personal, which is exactly why it hits harder. If Skyrim is about choices, then Nafi represents the illusion of choice. You can help him find closure about his sister. You can kill him for the Brotherhood, or you can ignore him entirely. No matter what you do, the outcome feels empty. There's no celebration, no recognition, no reward. His life begins and ends in quiet misery. And maybe that's the message. Not every story in Skyrim is one of glory. Some are about loss, some are about despair, and some are about lives so small they slip through the cracks. Nafi represents the forgotten people of Tamriel, the ones who don't matter to history, but still exist in the margins. What lingers most about Nafi is not his dialogue or his quest, but the guilt he plants in other players. Do you kill him and feel like a monster? Do you leave him alive knowing he'll continue to suffer alone? Do you ignore him and pretend you never saw him? None of these options feel good, and maybe that's the genius of his design. Nafi is not there to serve you, he's there to remind you that some wounds never heal. Nafi is, without question, the most isolated NPC in Skyrim. He has no allies, no purpose, no impact on the world. His only legacy is the uncomfortable silence he leaves behind. In a game filled with heroes, villains, dragons, and gods, this beggar is the reminder of what lies outside the spotlight. He is the human cost of a harsh world. He is what happens when no one cares, and that perhaps is why players remember him. Not because he mattered, but because he didn't.